Welcome, these beautiful people, those who know me. And in this video, I am not going to teach anything to the children at all. And I want to announce, first of all, before discussing anything in this video, to the students, especially, this video is not basically for the children, those who want to learn English at all by me, as from starting of the my scenario of YouTube. So in this video, I'll discuss something that is very important point of view, awakening, spiritualism, and what people think about, and what people say, and what people do, and what people hope doing this and that, and what they wish to get as results of they especially have some kind of a special set targets when they do something. So this kind of very spiritual thing is there. In this video I'm going to discuss, and the name of the book is Karma Yoga. It is written by Swami Vivekanand, and I'll read some important sentences of this book written by Swami Vivekanand, and I'll give my views also in this video. So those people who are actually more than 30 plus, and I think those who have completed their education, those who have completed their somehow careers at all. So at last, the midway people, those who are in the in the midway of careers, so they will be getting some kind of very very ironical, very eye opener thoughts by this video. So now, without any more delay, I'll, I'll discuss. Now here, the very first unit is here, karma and its effect on the character. Means what we do and what it makes effect on our character. Suppose that I am teaching, so what can be, what will be the effect on my character at all in the last of the my life, when somebody will summarize my whole life as biography. So karma, and what the effects of karma on our characters. So all people are, we are doing some kind of activities, some kind of work anywhere. We have many professions uh, in this planet over. Yeah, somebody does this, somebody does that. So it is, we all know. But what is the rule of karma in our making character good or bad at all? So this is the thing over here. Now if I talk about the word karma is derived from the Sanskrit means to do, means kuch karna, that is karma. Okay, all action is karma, means what we do, that is all karma. What we think, that is also karma. What we teach, that is also karma. What we see, that is also karma. What we listen, that is also karma. What we write, that is also karma. What we do, anything like reading, listening, playing, singing, all the things that is done by all of us, they are all the karma. Okay, so technically this word also means the effects of actions. So in connection with metaphysics is a word which talks about beyond this world actually. Okay, means not all the things which are present over this planet, which we have, what we have. So it isn't like that, means related to directly from our brain and mind and spiritual awakenings like soul. So that kind of thing is known as metaphysics, and it sometimes means the effect of which our past actions were the cause. And but in karma yoga we have simply to do with the word karma as meaning, but the goal of mankind is knowledge. So that is the one ideal placed before us by Eastern philosophy. So Eastern philosophy says that this is the one ideal placed we should we should achieve our knowledge. That's the goal of our knowledge at all. Now, pleasure is not the goal of man. So most of the people uh, are following the pleasure at all. Pleasure can be defined what we like actually, but we know that the fruits of this activity and this pleasurable activity will be bad, but especially we do for the sake of taste only. So that things which are actually bad for us, but still we do. So that kind of pleasure it's actually totally it is not totally it is avoided by the all the spiritual teachers. Means we need not to pursue, we need not to go in the direction always to have pleasure more and more. So actually that is not the goal of us. So we should try to avoid it, and we should try to ignore it. We should try to go actually on the page of where the knowledge exists, where the knowledge is. We should go in those page, not in those page where the pleasure is. Okay, so we should follow the routes, the roads, the maps, the figures, the page, the patterns of knowledge, not pleasure. Okay, so this is also I believe, and I also I'm very satisfied with this fact also. I also believe, and I also want to follow it. Now, pleasure and happiness come to an end. So it is the mistake to suppose that pleasure is the goal. Somebody can think that pleasure is goal, but it is the mistake of that people. If he tries to do it and get to, if he wants to, if she wants to get it all. Okay, now, the cause of all the miseries we have in this world is that the men foolishly think pleasure to be the ideal to strive for. मीन्स सबसे बड़ा दुख क्या है हम लोगों के लिए कि प्लेजर के लिए जीना, स्ट्राइव फॉर, हमेशा भूखे रहते हैं, मतलब मज़े के लिए भूखे रहते हैं. सो दिस इज़ द व्हाट, दिस इज़ द बेस्ट थिंग एवर, मतलब सबसे ख़राब चीज़ है. यही हमारी सारी मुसीबतों की, मिजरीज की, दिस इज़ द रूट ऑफ ऑल द problems at all. Now, after a time, a man finds that it is not happiness. Suppose that if I find out somewhere pleasure in doing this and that, then if I once received that kind of pleasure, then we don't that I don't receive again and again the same pleasure doing again and again. Repetition makes dull things, I think. When we do anything by doing repetition, so it becomes dull and quite pleasureless at all. Means there is no pleasure by doing again and again. Now what happens after time? Man finds that it is not happiness but the knowledge. We know that the knowledge is the real happiness and real satisfaction, but still we follow and try to find out pleasure anyhow, not knowledge. So this should be avoided by the all the people. We should It should be avoided by all of us. So towards which he is going, and that both pleasure and pain are great teachers. Means pleasure and pain both are great teachers over here, and he learns as much as from evil as from good. Now as pleasure and pain pass before his soul, they have upon it a different pictures, and the result of these combined impressions is what is called man's character. If you take the character of any man, it really is what the aggregate of tendencies, the sum total of the bent of his mind. You will find that misery and happiness are equal factors in the formation of the characters. Means what are the problems in life and what are the happiness in life, both will form our character. Both will form our character. What we have done good, what we have done bad, what we have done in the point of view pleasure, what we have done in the point of view problems and in the difficulties. So both will make our character. They will form, both will form our character. So good and evil have an equal share in the molding character, and in some instances misery is the greater teacher than the happiness. Means misery and difficulties and problems teach us more uh, than in the comparison of happiness. Happiness teaches it all, but less in the comparison of miseries. And studying the great characters the world has produced, I dare say that in the vast majority of cases, it would be found that it was misery that taught more than happiness. It was poverty that taught more than wealth. So here, those things, those elements, those important moral values are described by Swami Vivekanand, that uh, we don't learn much by wealth, but actually we learn more and more. I think most we learn by the poverty, not by wealth. So now this knowledge again is inherent in man. No knowledge comes from outside. It is all inside. Means what we want to achieve as knowledge, we can achieve our by our own, by the call of heart at all. So not by the outsider people and the outsider things, outside the society, outside the place at all. Now, what we say, Amanos should, in the strict psychological language, be what he discovers and unveils. What man learns is really what he discovers by taking the cover off his own soul, which is mine of infinite knowledge. Now, sometime what happens here? Now, I'm scrolling again. One thing is very important I want to convey over here. So all the actions that we see in the world means somebody doing this, somebody doing that. So means all the actions in the we see in the world, or moments in the human society, all the works that we have around us are simply the display of thought. Means what we think, we start doing same, so they become the action. So people are seeing, means what do, you notice, what you do, I notice. So this becomes a, and the manifestations of the will of man. Machines or instruments, cities, ships, or mean of power, all these are simply the manifestations of the will of man. And this will is caused by character. Means वो मतलब हमारी इच्छा जो होती है, that is made by character, and character is manufactured by karma. हमारे character कहाँ से बनता है? कर्म से बनता है. And as is karma, so it's the manifestation of the will. And the men of mighty will, the bird has produced, have all been tremendous workers, gigantic souls with wills powerful enough to overturn worlds. Wills they got by persistent work through each age and age. Such a gigantic will as that of Buddha, as Jesus, could not be obtained in one life. Now, this is here a very important thing that I want to discuss with all of you people. Even the lowest forms of the works are not to be despised, means not to be criticized, not to be condemned at all. Means people need not to criticize at all and condemn at all the lowest forms of works. Means whatever the work is over the earth, it is not less than any other. Means all the works are very important, and whatever the work is being done by the any person, it is very important. It is not to be actually despised and condemned, it is to be actually praised, not to be despised. Okay, so let the man, and who knows no better, work for selfish ends. All the people, we should work for selfish ends. Means, but what I'm noticing around my people are working for the selfish at all. They want to achieve uh, name and fame and post and money, many things by doing work with the selfish. Means they are very selfish when they are setting their strategies, where they are planning their, when they try to do something this and that, they try any work in this way, they try their works in the way so that can get them fame more and more, fame, name more and more, not to the others. Means they only want to to achieve more and more name and fame by doing such kind of activities which are only beneficial for to those. Actually, they are not beneficial for the mankind at all point of view knowledge. If I talk personally, so these kind of people, what will be the end? What will be the character of those people? I'm thinking, and uh, I'm very sad to know that how can they be the good yeah, people of the where they are the working in the big uh, organization, in the big area, in the big post, in a big circle, in the big companies somewhere else, anywhere. But a lot of innocent people come to you. They want to uh, know, they want to achieve real knowledge, not at all your all the strategies at all, because strategy are not beneficial for any point of view. Knowledge can be beneficial for the people and for the children at all, but you try to set some people try to, those who work by the self, they try to satisfy uh, their own will power, what they have thought once, that I will become this and that, and I'll order people, children, all people do this, and people will be doing this. I will say do this, and people will be doing this. I will say speak this, people will be speaking this. So this kind of activity is happening. So these kind of people, I think, must be uh, thinking to remove their this kind of tendency, because by the with the passage of time their tendency will be neglected by the people after all. Because when we talk about the character will be bad at all. So if what happens if your karma is not done by the selflessly, so how can you be worshipped, how can you be remembered by the people? So this is the perspective here, that is the book giving us. We should work selflessly, and we should work for the humanity, and we should work for the knowledge at all. Now, to work we have the right, but not to the fruits. Therefore means we not to think about the fruits, we should always think of having work and work. Leave the fruits alone and be care for results. If you wish to help a man, never think that what a man's attitude should be towards you. If you want to do great or good work, do not trouble to think what the results be. And there arises a difficult question, the ideal of work. Intense activity is necessary, but we must always work. We can't live a minute without work. What then becomes of rest? Here is one side of the life struggle, work, and which we are will rapidly round. And here is the other, or that of calm, retiring, renunciation. Everything is peaceful around, and there is very little of noise. And so now, only nature with her animals and flowers and mountains, neither of them is a perfect picture. A man is a man used to solitude, if brought in the contact with the surging billful of the world, will be crushed by it, just as the fish that lives in the deep sea water, as soon as it is brought to the surface, breaks into pieces, deprived of the weight of the water on it that had kept it together. Can a man who has used the turmoil and the rush of life live at ease of he comes to quiet place. He suffers, perchance may lose his mind. The ideal man he is who, in the midst of the greatest silence and solitude, finds the intense activity, and in the midst of the intense activity finds the silence of solitude of the desert. He has learned the secret of restraint. He has controlled himself. He goes through the streets of a big city with all its traffic, and his mind is as calm as you feel here in the cave, where not a sound could reach him, and he is intensely working all the time. And that is the ideal of the karma yoga. And if you have attended that, you have really learned the secret of path. And now, what's the duty of people? It's necessary in the study of karma yoga to know what duty is. And if I have to do something, I must first know that it is my duty, and then I can do it. The idea of duty again is different. The different nations, the Mohammedan says that the written in his book, the Quran is his duty, and Hindu says what is in the Vedas is his duty, and the Christian says that oh, is in the Bible is his duty. and we find that there are the varied ideas of duty differing according to different states in life, different historical periods in different nations. The term duty, like every other universal abstract term, is impossible clearly to define. We can only get an idea of it by knowing its practical operations and results. When certain things occur before us, we have all a natural, a trained impulse to act in a certain manner towards them. When this impulse comes, the mind begins to think about the situation. Sometimes it thinks that it's good to act in the particular manner under the given conditions. At other times, it thinks that it is wrong to act in the same manner, every even in the very same circumstance. The ordinary idea of duty everywhere is that every good man follows the dictates of his conscience. So these are the things over here. I also don't want to upload a big video, but the one thing is here sure that we should work selflessly. We should not try to ignore our duty at all, because people are nowadays busy in playing tricks in a very big responsible post. Because where we are working under our work, our duty, many innocent, very honest people come to get our service, to get our real quality, not our tricks at all. So we should live for the welfare of our man, welfare of the mankind at all, not for the uh, to fulfill our own desires at all. So I think this video will be uh, burning and full of suggestion with the people, to the people, those who know me at very well, and I hope they will somehow change their actions, because karma makes character.